Hello lovely people and welcome back to my channel. So as promised in my last video, I'm back again with yet another eye look and as promised, review of this P Louise eyeshadow palette which is called The Secret Sinner. So I think what we should do first is just have a look at how I've created this eyeshadow look. It's pretty simple, pretty basic, again using just 2 to 3 eyeshadows from this palette. And then we're gonna come back to my thoughts and my views of this palette. Okay guys, so I'm going to read some key information from the P Louise website about this Secret Sinner palette. Now this palette was released I think at least a couple of years ago, and it consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It consists of 21 matte eyeshadow shades. So what she says is that the Secret Sinner palette is the ultimate bright palette designed to transform the saints under the radar into unstoppable, smoldering sinners by night. With a spectrum of 18 super pigmented shades, so obviously I need to work on my calculations, we have everything to drag you from the shadows into the spotlight. The world is your stage. Okay, now I've also had this palette for some time now. I just didn't have a chance to play with all the colors. Now in terms of the price, this one is retailing for £40, and I'm just trying to see what's the pan size. Okay, it doesn't really say the pan size anywhere, and it's a bit of a shame because when I look at this palette, the pans are really big. So if we talk about packaging, then the packaging is really fancy. It's this white box with this golden stuff going on here, and I think it's two feathers in here. So I think the packaging is really cute, and I guess like a lot of thought went behind before they came out with this packaging design. The only downfall of this palette is that it's a bit bulky, so it's not your regular travel buddy kind of eyeshadow palette. This palette is something that you take with you when you are allowed loads of luggage space, okay? Once you open this palette up, you get a very good size mirror, and also you see there's this kind of protector. It says the secret sinner on this side, and on the other side it says first impressions can be deceiving, P Louise. P Louise is a British makeup artist. I think she's very well known for the work she's done. She started off with some eyeshadow bases, which I've also used in this video, and got some really ravishing reviews about those eyeshadow bases. I find those eyeshadow bases okay, not something too extraordinary, but this is the palette. The shades, as you will see, are very, very, very bright and different. You know, this is not your regular eyeshadow palette. In my view, the pan sizes are pretty decent, so this amount of quantity for £40 I think is a really good quantity. So you get your kind of neutral shades in your browns over here, and maybe this one, and then you get your brights like this yellow, this orange, these two shades over here which have got a little bit of pink in them, and then this bright pink, this teal, this purple. So the palette has some really varied eyeshadow range for people who want to try different looks. And what I love the most about this palette is the pigmentation. So I'm gonna not swatch every single color, but I'm going to pick up a few colors and give you a swatch of it. So I'm going to, let's say, first pick up Bow Down. So it's this orangey color that I've used as well, and here you have it. So it's not, you know, it's not, how do I explain it? So when I put it like this, it's not like intense pigmentation, but when you're using eyeshadow brush, as you've probably noticed in the eye look that I was creating today, you need very little amount and it gives you intense pigmentation. Let's try this color, which is called Affair, and let's put it on here. So again, you know, not in your face on the back of my hand, but when you put it on your eyelids, it's amazing. I think I'll do a couple more and then I'll carry on with my review. I'll do Infatuation. Is this very bright pink. So let's have a look. Yeah, blends in very well. And then okay, which one shall we do? Let's do Climax, which is this yellow. So, well, okay, here it is, and here we have it. So all in all, you know, this reminds me of one of our Indian Hindu festivals, Holi. This is how bright the colors are. I think you could get away with using these colors to play that festival. Think what I like the most about this palette is the pigmentation and the shade range. So because the shades are very pigmented and they are very unique, you really don't need 5-6 shades to create an eyeshadow. You could even get away with just using one eyeshadow as a block shadow and you are ready to go. It's a very easy palette to work with. The shades blend really smoothly together. So lots of positives within this palette. Another thing that I have noticed is that even if you're using 2 eyeshadows, you can create a good look. So don't worry about having to spend hour or really long time to create an eyeshadow look. You could just pick up one unique shade, throw it on, you're good to go. The only 2 downfalls that I can think of this eyeshadow palette, first of all, it is a matte eyeshadow palette, so I don't really expect any shimmery shades in it because that'll just be the purpose. But the one downfall I see of this palette is, first of all, I don't see any highlighting shade. Now, in all fairness, a highlighting shade, whether it's for your inner corner or your under the brow bone region, it does not need to be shimmery. It can be a light matte eyeshadow. So that's the first downfall I see that makes this palette a bit incomplete for me, because I will always have to reach out for another eyeshadow palette to grab a highlighter shade. And the other downfall I see, or maybe not a downfall, but what I would have preferred to see within this eyeshadow palette is a base color, a neutral skin tone base color, because I think it's so important now. Although P Louise works on the idea that her eyeshadow base does not need to be set, so you put it on and it's good to go with eyeshadows, I do find the need to set that eyeshadow base as well. So, and I don't want to always just go back to her eyeshadow base. I do have other eyeshadow bases that I enjoy and I would like to use that. So I think the 2 things that this eyeshadow palette is missing is a highlighter shade and a base shade. Apart from that, the only other downfall is how massively chunky this eyeshadow palette is. I think the color quality is superb, the pigmentation is superb. It's not a travel-friendly eyeshadow palette. You have to be mindful of how easy a palette is whenever you are, traveling.
Which obviously nowadays is not something people talk about because we can't go anywhere. But yes, that's one of the things people consider when they're traveling. So that's one downfall, and the only other downfall is what I've talked about.
I think it's a really, really good eyeshadow palette for the price. The pan sizes are really big. The shade range is very good. And it is not your regular eyeshadow palette. So I highly recommend it. I think it makes doing makeup so easy. That even if you're a beginner, you should go get your hands on it. It is still available. The quality is amazing. So a definite yes from me. All right. So what I want to do over the coming videos is create more eyeshadow looks and use more palettes. I also have this palette from Mitchell in collaboration with Beauty Way that I have not had a chance to fully explore just yet, so I will be maybe doing a bit of videos with that eyeshadow palette as well and doing some reviews. So I think with all this time in this world, we just can't go wrong with exploring what we already have in our cupboards and wardrobes. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, please keep smiling and stay safe.